Fellow auto detailers, welcome to the show that features interviews with today's most successful auto detailers. This is the Auto Detailing Podcast. Here's your host, Jimbo Balaam.
Yo. Can't wait for you guys to hear this episode with June Jones. We talk about being profitable with dealership detailing. Just wanted to jump in real quick before we get started and invite you over to autodetailingpodcast.com/start. That's my latest course and courses that I have outlined for you. What I did was made one full course and then broke each individual module. There's 14 of them down for you to purchase individually. It's actually some of the most frequently asked questions that I've gotten, and then I take each one of those things and I dive deep and I reveal secrets that I never have before on the Auto Detailing Podcast. So head on over to autodetailingpodcast.com, buy the whole course or buy them as you need them a la carte. Enjoy this episode. Here we go. All right, welcome to episode 270 of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I'm Jimbo, your host. Today I'm super excited. We have June Jones on the show, and he's going to tell us how to make a career from being a head detailer at a dealership or working as a detailer at a dealership. So June, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going good.
How's it going?
Yeah. Everyone out there. And this is June. You approached me about this topic, and we had a phone conversation last week prior to us recording this. And obviously, you know that. I'm just giving the listeners a little backstory. But I'm excited for the information that you're going to share. And I don't know everything you're going to share, but based on our conversation last week, I'm super excited because I definitely know this is an area of detailing that I'm very ignorant in, and you felt was lacking in the show. So I appreciate you actually, bringing that up, because especially in Facebook circles, there's such a negative connotation in the dealership detailing arena. But you really started to open my eyes up into a different avenue to be profitable with it. And I can't help but think, even as we're sitting here now, that there's someone out there that has a passion for detailing that doesn't want to own their own business. And that's like 110% okay. So that's why I'm excited to have you on the show today. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of dealership detailing and being the head detailer and all that, why don't you tell us about yourself, where you're at, and how you got into detailing?
All right. Once again, Jimbo, I appreciate you, for allowing me to come on.
You got it.
And talk with you.
You got it.
I'm June Jones, based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I started detailing. I got into detailing roughly around like 7 to 8 years ago. I started detailing. I came in as a detailer helper at a Toyota dealership. When I first got over there, of course, when you first get into detailing, everyone, as far as just really know the basics, you just take your car to the car wash, just basic stuff. And I had a pleasure to go over there to Toyota and become a detail helper, which really opened my eyes up to detailing in general. And it really was a good start because I feel like when you're detailing at a dealership, it's just a little different. Like, it gave me the ability to, just oversee a lot of different things in detailing, just from a business standpoint and just whole car lot standpoint and everything, So started there at Toyota, was there about like 5 years. Then I ended up having a pleasure to work with Nissans. I worked at a big Nissan dealership and left Nissan, went over and had a pleasure to work with Lexus, Audi, and Volkswagen, dealing with all those type of cars and stuff. And, and then from there, just, got my own thing going, JonesExtremeAutoDetail.com. And, and I just go, and just do it, man. That's how it all got started for me,
Why start at the dealership? Was it just an opportunity that came across your plate, and so you just ran with it, or why start at a dealer?
Okay, why start at a dealer? First off, I think starting at a dealership, because like you said, dealership detailing in general get a lot of bad raps. I mean, I was online the other day, and just seeing how, a lot of people just down talk, just dealerships in general. And we're talking about a big dealership. We're talking like Chevy, the real GMC, Chevy, Lexus, Toyota, not just like a dealership that someone just popped up, down. I'm sure every city got that one street that got a whole lot of little dealerships on it. We're talking about major corporation dealerships, that's like full Chevy. You're dealing with brand new Chevy SS Camaros all the way down to your little bitty Sonic, hatchback, stuff like that. So,
and this is going to be multi-dealership dealers, right? This isn't going to be like the single mom and pop operation, no name dealer. This is name brand, moving a lot of cars, selling a lot of cars. It's a like you said, a corporation, a big operation. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, yes, sir. So, so off tops, and then that's just like the new car side of it. Every car dealer, big corporation got a used car and a new car. So the used cars, of course, they get a little bit of everything. They get the Cadillacs, they get the Range Rovers, they get the Nissans, just a variety of vehicles. So on the used side, and that's where, the detailing come in. Also for the new. So you're detailing new and used. So we're talking about used right now, full-blown detailing. So for the people for someone that do want to start a career at a dealership and everything, I think it's one of the best, profitable. And we talked about that too. Like a lot of people really don't know how profitable it is and how much money's really circulating in these dealerships. And I think that
let's get right
at a dealer.
Let's jump let's jump right into that while it's fresh on the mind, because I think you've got an interesting inroad and an interesting thing. You run your own business on the side, but that's not connected with the dealership. You're not coming in as Jones Extreme Auto Detail to detail at the Chevy dealership. You are employee June Jones. June Jones working for whatever Chevy. So you're actually a full-blown employee for the dealership, and you're saying that it can be profitable. So I really want to, even this early in the podcast, I want to blow all the misconceptions that guys have, and I want you to break it down for us and tell us how it's profitable for you being an employee June Jones. I love that name, by the way. So I think it reminds me of Jim Jones or whatever. So,
I appreciate that. Okay, profitable. Just starting off, flagging. That's what is generally called in that realm. It's pretty much called flag detailing. And by what they mean is, like a used car can they'll give you 4 hours on a used car, or they'll give you 2 hours on a new car. So like a used car, 4 hours. If you know what you're doing and you're doing the things that you need to do to get the car to its full form, you roughly, if you're good, you could get that done in 2 hours. So look, now you won 4 hours in 2 hours, or it might cost you 1 hour to do it. So now you won 4 hours in 1 hour. Then you do another one. So roughly, you can do 20 hours in one day. That's how it's all. You see what I'm saying? That's
right.
How it's all.
It's like a mechanic. That's what they do at a lot of mechanic shops. Is they have a set allotted time per job, but so they'll pay you or charge you for 4 hours, but it may only take you 2, but you still get paid for the 4.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's how you can work that 20 hours.
But I also want to emphasize on, just the detailing in general, because I think that's where it gets confused with a lot of people that do have detailing businesses as they're on, and then they get to downplaying dealerships. But, you know, from the beginning, like you asked me, like when I first came in as a helper, it gave me the ability to touch cars in real time.
Yep.
You know, doing full details and learning on someone else's time, someone else's money, someone else's budget. And, you know, we're talking about every chemical you can imagine, you know, any machine from, I mean, what? You know what I mean? Like full-blown details. And it's also giving you the ability to be able to hit a car because they're going to only pay you they're not going to give you more money. Even if the car is real bad, they'll probably squeeze another hour out. But for the most of the time, you're doing this car for a flat-out fee.
And that's where that time frame can actually flip on you, too, if you're not careful, which could bring in this whole efficiency and effective thing. It could start costing you money. So it could take you 6 hours on a 4 hour. Yeah. Yep.
Yes, it can. It can.
But that trains you to be effective and efficient, too. So that could be carried over to your business.
It does. You know, it can carry over to your business. And I know, and then, see, Jimbo, me, I only can really detail from that because that's how I started. So I always detailed from that perspective. You know what I mean? It was hard for me to jump into my side business, you know, my actual Jones Extreme Auto Detail and separate a lot of things because I only know one thing, and that's the whole thing. You know what I mean? Right. So we're talking from the engine to the paint correction. You know, if this car need to be buffed, you need to buff it, you know, and stuff like that. So it could be.
You're like, what do you mean the customer wants a wash and a wax? Let's just do everything.
Yeah, let's just do everything, you know. So I think it gives you the ability for that and just really. And another thing, it really taught me, you know, not only is it a good path for people that want to get in and just never really knew about the detailing industry up in like the big dealerships. And I know a lot of dealerships get a lot of, you know, bad, horrible things said about them, but it's customers that come through the dealership to get their car detailed, and they call that a customer pay. So now you're dealing with real customers in a real time. Same thing. It's no different than Jones Extreme Auto Detail. You know, it's no different if a customer calling you from Google. It's the same people, the same type of. It's really nothing different. You know what I mean? It's just in the customer. You're going to meet the customer. You know, you're dealing with their car. So if they don't like something, they're going to, you know, just as if a customer out in the real world. If they didn't like something, they're going to let you know right then and there.
Right.
Same with that. You know. So yeah, it's pretty much all the same. You know.
So they're giving you do you have guys helping you as well? How does that pay structure work other than having an allotted time per car? So is it like, okay, you have 4 hours and every car's $150 and there's 3 guys working on it, and like, how does that kind of break down?
Okay. Like really just flagging in general, let's say, let me see. I'll say like, okay, when I worked at Lexus, it was 9 detailers. Even when I worked at Toyota, it was 6 flaggers. When I worked at Lexus, it was 8 or 9 flaggers. So you're dealing with used cars, you're dealing with new cars,
all
you're
mixed
dealing
in.
with just all mixed in. You're dealing with just interior detail, or this person just want a paint correction, you know, or you dealing with just a wash and vac, you know, just different little things. And like all the detailers is flagging, but where it get real profitable at is when you're running the whole show, which that's what I do at a Chevy dealership. I run the whole show. And let me be clear, guys, it's very profitable even when I wasn't running the whole show. Like even when I was at Toyota, they got so many cars. We're talking 5 different detailers running 80 to 90, 100 hours a week. My first week flat, remember, guys, I came in as a helper hourly, and then my first week when they said, okay, June, you can start flagging. You're good enough to do a full detail now without me having to, you know, do anything. Your cars is, you know when you made it, you know, you put in the time and you learn how to detail to where you having no comebacks or nothing. Everything's beautiful. That first week I ran 100 hours. 100 hours. You get normally when you flag detailing, you get paid every week. I want to make that clear too. And let's just say, I just want to give y'all real numbers. 100 hours when I was at Toyota, we're talking touching easily $700-800 a week. You know, you run 100 hours a week. I mean, easy 1,000 a week.
Right.
And we're talking about consistent. You're making your own
Right.
checks. So guess what? If you don't really want to do anything that day, you can run your 4 hours, but guess what? You're only going to get, just like a real business. It's just like your real business. If you feel like detailing that day or have, everybody go through days.
Right.
Just like you might only have time to do one car.
Yep.
So, yeah.
What has been a challenge doing dealership cars, though? Or working at a dealership?
Like just a challenge.
Like maybe something that hasn't been, well, we can get there. I think because you told me those figures last week when we talked on the phone, and I said, you know what? For most guys, if they could pull in a G a week, that'd be doing pretty dang good. For not for everyone, but for most people out there. And I know because there's a lot of guys that reach out to me and they're say, they're looking to make that jump into full-time detailing, and they're going, hey, I need to make, $52,000 a year. Do you think I can make that detailing? And it's like, you're doing this at a dealership, and it's the part I love about it is it's consistent.
Man.
It's consistent. It doesn't matter if it's raining. It doesn't matter if it's snowing. None of that matters.
None of that matters.
So I love
None of that matters. None of that matters. And you also, that's how Jones Extreme Auto Detail got started, and then you can also work your regular customers in on your own time, you know what I mean? And you can still make money at your job and still make money on your customers. So now that's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
That's a very win-win situation. Mm-hmm.
So, but are there any, is it, when I think about difficulties, is there any situations that happen, and there's difficult things that happen in any type of detailing or, any of that, but is there anything that you notice detailing at the dealership that doesn't maybe happen with June's Extreme Auto Detailing on the side? So trying to find a difference between,
Yeah, like just the difference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. It really ain't no difference. I think the difference is you're just you got to deal with more people and communicate. You got to deal with people communication skills. So you're really dealing with used cars. So that's one group you need to be communicating with. Now you're dealing with used cars, new cars and used cars. So it's just different levels of communication. I feel like as far as working for an actual dealership than working for yourself, you only communicating to yourself and your customers. So of course it's going to be a little bit more smoother, but I tell you this, it's just as smooth if you're working for a dealership. I really don't see any things that really would steer me away. I'll tell you what really kept me there when I was at Toyota, and my manager showed me, what he was making his year to date, and that really showed me that, this is very profitable, especially if you're real good at detailing in general. You can make a lot of money very quick. And I think, Jimbo, another thing where they get it, where dealership detailing get it bad also is they think that we're not doing real details. I wanted to get into that. Like, they think that we're not doing real details. I don't get it. Like, the car is either clean or it ain't. Now, I know that's how I kind of look at detailing. Like, the car is either clean or it ain't. And I know they could probably say, like, okay, dealership details cut corners, and you don't cut corners. Because these people need these cars to look as beautiful as they can, so someone can come drop $30,000 on this vehicle or $10,000, or we're talking about real money.
Yeah, because a lot of times people think, just like from a maintenance standpoint, a lot of people think that if they take their car to the dealership, they're actually going to get a better job. because the dealer's doing it, so there's that aspect. I mean, I'm trying to play, the opposite of what a lot of people say on Facebook and stuff. So, there is that too. And of course there's, the whole aspect of maybe swirl marks and improper washing techniques and that stuff too. But that can happen
anywhere.
Anywhere. Yeah.
That can happen anywhere. And just like and another thing, I'm dealing with firsthand vendors, Carbright, he called me today, they Carbright, I order from Auto Geek, everything y'all, that someone else do, we're doing it too. Auto Geek, all the new products, ceramic coatings. All the best, I use the Flex on the daily. And that's another thing. I'm able to use all of this stuff on a very high level and also a lot. So I'm really running into more problems than your average detailer at, I'm really running into problems all day long. So now it's giving me the ability to really show me what Mazona really got. And that's another thing, Jimbo. A lot of these products out here, I deal with the Mazona. I love Mazona. I love, I don't want to get because I know how YouTube can start cutting you up on all this stuff, but I just want to really truly let you guys know, like, I'm dealing with all these products on a first-hand basis, and it's really showing me what like a true compound. Okay, every car is different. Mm-hmm. Every paint is different. So go ahead.
No. I'm just agreeing with what you were saying.
Okay. So if I go in on this car using Mazona, okay, I think, then another car come in, another car I'm about to do, and I try to go in on using this car on Mazona. Sometimes that don't work. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that direction can't go first. I got to come from a different angle. Just in detailing, every car is different. So you're going to hit this car from this angle, then you might get this car. You be like, well, I'm going to try to hit it from this angle. You can't really hit every car the true same way. You can't go in. One might have a whole lot of dog hair. I can't hit, exactly. So you got to hit it harder. Yeah, everything is different, and it's giving you real problems in real time every day. So now you just got a variety of arsenals and tricks and tips and tools that can really help you guys make more money faster, in a lot of different ways. Like, I got a lot of tips and tricks and quick little, things that can just get you straight to the point. Boom. Yep. So
and that's exactly what we talked about last week when we talked on the phone, and a good, I think a good aspect of doing this dealership detailing or getting your start in detailing is that you can touch so many cars and such a variety of cars, and like you said, and you can run through so much product that you can really, almost like getting training or having a mentor shrinks down your learning curve. It's almost like you're shrinking down your learning curve by doing it this way, but getting paid at the same time. And that's incredible. And I think that one of the biggest aspects and things could be is that you're working in this bigger corporation, so the opportunities, say one day you just decide you don't want to detail cars anymore, but you work inside this bigger cog, if you will, or this bigger operation that you could jump ship from the detail department to maybe the finance department or maybe the sales department or something like that. And you have a way easier in if you choose to do that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of money. That's another thing. It's so much money in these dealerships. If people just truly knew how much money is circulating in these dealerships, I think that, a lot of minds would change, and I think that, just the opportunity to even be a part of something so big, because sometimes I just sit back and really think about, what I'm into, and I'm the person that touches every single car at a big mega dealership, and that's a lot to take in. They're giving you They're allowing you to work on every single car, so not only is that good in itself, I mean, that's your business card also. I mean, you're dealing with so many customers, like on a daily basis on all levels, so that's just big in itself. I truly believe, so.
So what advice, say there's someone out there right now that's, on the fence of or starting their own detailing business, or, really wants to make the jump into, full-time detailing, and they hear this episode and they're like, wow, I never even thought that this would be a viable option, but this may be, my inroad to starting my own business one day, but at least would get them circulating in the detailing full-time. What would be your advice as to how to just get started in this?
Okay, my advice to get started, really just go around your area, whatever area you guys is in, and just see if you want to get into the Chevy. Find you a good big Chevy dealership, or Lexus, or Cadillac, Volkswagen. We can keep going, name after name. All these different brands of cars have a provider in every state, that's selling a lot of cars. Even if you're not even selling a lot of cars, think about it. You can make 8 hours in like 5 hours.
Right.
So technically, a regular job is only 8 hours a day. So now you did your 8 and you can go home if that's what you choose to do, if that's what you want to do, So I think that, really just go get online, find out what's really moving in you guys' area, and find a good dealership that, that need help. Go to them, see if they need some help, get to talking with them. You can even get on Indeed, and just look it up. Yeah, type in auto detailing, and that's where you can truly get started. Go on Indeed in your area, and I'm sure someone's hiring. They're always hiring, because in reality, detailing is not for everyone.
Right.
It's a hard job. It is not easy.
Right.
Which I'm sure everybody know that. So it's
100%.
always 100%, but it's always someone hiring, I'm sure. And I think that that's the best way to really just get started. Go around and try to find some of them, some of them dealerships.
100%. Is there anything that I left out that, or I didn't touch on, that you want to kind of make sure we cover? Anything that kind of really grinds your gears when you see that we haven't talked about? Because I think you've kind of blown the doors wide open in this, and I'm so happy. And this is why I encourage people that listen to the show to reach out, because I would have never had this perspective on dealership detailing if you wouldn't have had reached out to me and said, hey, look, I think there's another way to look, there's another way to see this that hasn't been presented on the show yet. And so in my efforts to really make this an all-encompassing show about detailing, I really rely on people like you reaching out and saying, hey, have you ever thought about it like this? So now that you have the platform, I really want to, make sure that we got, we could do this again sometime in the future, but for now, at least I want to make sure we hit it. I'm sure there's a million different things and avenues that we could go, but I want to make sure we got a good overview of it.
Okay. Yeah. Really just, I did reach out to you, because see, dealership detailing is really a community. Because once you get into the dealership, you want to keep your name good, just like your business. You started your business, you got you a website, you're on Google. As soon as you start doing bad details, your name go bad. And once your name go bad, everybody know the rest. Yep. Yeah, so you're truly an asset. And you got to look at yourself as that. Basically, they're hiring you to, oversee their cars in a way. So really you approach them as in, hey, I can help you, just like a customer. You might see a customer with swirl marks and all that, and, you be like, hey, I can get those out. It's the same way. You approach them dealerships, hey, I'm an asset. I do paint corrections. I do this. Go in there and let them know what you can do.
Right.
Because everybody's on different levels. You go and show them, like, hey, I can do this. And when you start making them money, you're making money, you're making them money, and then the rest is history. But I want to touch on some of these. I just want to touch on a little bit of just like interior detailing tips. Is it anything, Jimbo, that someone asked you on anything, or something like that I can just kind of
I would say the biggest misconception I have, and it's crazy because I think there's similarities to dealership detailing and then also like auction and wholesale detailing.
Yeah, it is, which it is.
And I just think that guys bag on it so hard because they just don't know. They just are ignorant to it. And that's okay, even though it bugs me that but that's life, right? People talk out of both ends. So I just hope that this episode has really, just like I've done with other guys like Barry Thiel and a couple other guys that do a lot of wholesale detailing, and said, hey, like I've seen Barry Thiel in action of someone trying to call him out, saying that you can't be profitable doing that type of detailing, and Barry just shutting the guy down, saying, dude, you just simply don't know what you're talking about.
Man.
So
it gets real serious. It does.
So and so I just hope that this episode can just be a conversation starter, and just and not to, at the same time, not to put other people down and say you're a complete idiot, and that's, I don't think we did that. I don't think we did that. I just want to open up other people's eyes to for them to be more well-rounded, just because I'm saying I was ignorant to this style of detailing. I didn't know. And even after you reached out to me, I was kind of like, I don't think so. So.
Well, but I really reached out to you, Jimbo, because I just felt like, I'm doing the same thing that you're doing.
Exactly.
Like I just don't see the difference. Like, and that's what I try to ask you. Like, is it anything that someone is it anything anyone wanted to know about, like, as far as like, because I think that's where it get mixed up at, is like, well, they're not really detailing. Like, ask me something and I could tell you how I would come in, like, because I think that people think that it's just like you're not doing nothing, just washing bags and just, send it. Like, I'm doing everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming in just like you go. When I go, because I do mobile detailing, I pull up at people the same way I'm doing that is the same way I'm going to work and doing this.
Let's do this, because I think this would be interesting. Why don't we, in the Facebook post that accompanies this podcast, so people can go to Auto Detailing Podcast on Facebook, or they could go on my personal Facebook page, both, June, of which I believe you're on, and they can post their questions for you. So, because I don't know every question, so if now I'm going to be talking to the listeners, if you have a question about dealership detailing, why don't you post your question in the comment section on this Facebook post, and I'll tag June or whatever, and June, you can pop in there with anyone that may have a question and answer it for them directly, or they could reach out to you directly, and I'll have all your stuff in the show notes that they could do that. Great. But actually, just give out how can people find you or reach you on social?
On Facebook, it's just June, like the month, and Jones. I'm on Instagram, Jones, and that's with a Z, JONEZ, Extreme Auto Detail on Instagram. And Perfect. You can just really reach out to me, ask me any questions. I got a lot of tips and tricks and things, utensils and things that I use to make my day easier, more profitable, quicker, and still get the same results as if I wanted to go the long way.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. Head on over to autodetailingpodcast.com for full show notes and links of everything that we've talked about today. And don't forget to check out our resources page for a direct link to all the products talked about not only on today's episode, but that I use in my day-to-day detail business. They have direct links so you can purchase and get free shipping right from that page. That's autodetailingpodcast.com. We'll see you on the next episode.